Hello everyone, Chaos here, and welcome to another Old School RuneScape video. Boys and girls, a ton of content might potentially be coming to Old School RuneScape thanks to a little Jagex event called OSRS Game Jam. If you haven't heard of this, I don't blame you, there's not a lot of information about it either in the main game or in the official website, and most of these ideas were pitched either on Twitter or on Reddit. Basically, this is a way for Jagex mods to show you some concepts, and if enough people like them, then they potentially could be contemplated for a future update, and of course bringing it to the live game. We have a lot of very exciting updates that hopefully I am going to cover either if there's more news about them or if they eventually come into the main game. So make sure to subscribe with notifications on, join the Discord, and let's go ahead and do a deep dive into a lot of these topics that, are actually extremely exciting. So let's begin. I am going to cover these topics from least to most exciting or important, or even the ones we have the least information about, all the way up to concepts that have even more information, and it looks like JMods put a lot of ideas and a lot of brainstorming into them. We are going to start by a tweet by Jagex Ash himself, and this is basically a way to quote-unquote expand LMS, but expanding in a way that I would say restricts people to play in a level 5 defense or a level 1 pure scenario. So far, the only thing we have is, basically a quote-unquote maxed combat main. To be quite honest, I have stepped into LMS probably about 3 or 4 times and I got my ass handed to me, so this one is not extremely exciting to me, but I can see a lot of PKers trying to prove themselves in different combat brackets, and Jagex Ash himself said that this is only the beginning of the LMS either expansion or different ways to play the game, so only time will tell what other additions we see to LMS. Jagex, I really hope you get rid of all the bots plaguing this minigame so I can at least have a chance at winning any game, please. So yeah, that's the very first one. The second idea is more aimed towards PVMers who enjoy wilderness content, and it is the blessed status. As you guys can see on screen, there's a ton of text, and we are not at a school PowerPoint presentation, so I'm gonna give you a very general idea of this concept, and if you like what you hear, you can go to Twitter, read the entire thing yourself, and you can even give Mod Sofan some feedback on this idea, since that JMod is the one in charge of this concept. So very quickly, what is the blessed status? Spoiler alert for the future, apparently there's also a wilderness extension coming, and in this wilderness extension there is going to be a brand new city. In here you can buy the blessed status from an NPC, and whenever you get it, you will get the restrictions of an ultimate Ironman, which means you cannot bank, you cannot pick up loot from any other players. So what is going to be the plus side from all of this is that whenever you are blessed, whenever you kill a demi-boss or a boss in the wilderness, you are going to get a lot of perks to your abilities when it comes to food, potions, and a lot more. So whenever you kill a demi-boss or a boss, it's going to give you a certain number of points, I would say related to the difficulty of the boss, and whenever you rank up, your perks are going to become stronger and better. Whenever you get the blessed status at first, it's not going to give you anything, but whenever you get 50 points, it is going to go up to tier 1, and your brews and your food are going to heal more, the brews are going to drain less stats, and your stamina regeneration is going to be better. Whenever you go up one more rank, your, these perks are going to be better, but you're going to get a brand new one, and that is that your protection prayers are going to protect you by 60% instead of the previous 50%. And then finally, when you reach 500 points, all of these perks are going to be even stronger, but you're going to get 2 brand new ones, which is that the special attack is going to regenerate quicker, and also you are going to get even more health regeneration. There are 3 questions related to this that you guys can check out in the description, and also a lot of people talking about it on Twitter, so I encourage you guys to check it out if this idea seems any interesting to you. So you can also let me know what you think in the comments about this one, because so far this one looks pretty weird, to be honest, but I'm all for new content. A very quick one that I really encourage you guys to vote yes on, if it even makes it to a poll, is the addition of dogs in Old School RuneScape, finally. If you guys didn't know, these were added back in RuneScape 2 with the addition of the summoning skill, and this is because dogs didn't require you to have a specific summoning level for you to both raise them and follow you around. This is not the case for other pets, like for example, if you wanted a baby dragon following you around, you needed level 99 summoning, and that goes the same for a monkey, penguin, and so on. So yes, it looks like we are going to have a lot of breeds coming into the game, and hopefully you can have every single one of them be added into your menagerie, so it looks even more, I would say, active than before. And who knows, maybe that means I can potentially have my little baby girl Moneda in the game, so we can actually play together and have some more adventures in the future. The next one is also fairly quick because there's not a ton of information about them other than 2 teaser images by Jagex Ed himself on Twitter. It looks like we are potentially going to have a brand new Zeya quest added by the name of Garden of Death. And the very first thing I say is I wonder if this is related to the Garden of Tranquility quest, for which we worked really hard to make the Varrock Queen's garden a reality. And it looks like the most exciting part about this is that we will potentially be able to find a brand new race in Old School RuneScape. If you guys remember, the last race, well, that I know of, you guys can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, was the addition of the Khalith, the ones that we have in Mount Karum. I believe there are 2 races, the Khalith and the Tasakaal, which those are coming quite soon. So yeah, Garden of Death looks like, fairly hype, but I will be one of those players that is going to basically follow a guide as soon as it's available. And speaking of the Tasakaal race, it looks like Husky came up with a great concept that will potentially be the next wave-based activity coming to Old School RuneScape, fingers crossed if it even makes it to the polls, called the Tasakaal Trials. What this is basically going to be like the Fight Caves, the Inferno, but instead of having 63 and 69 waves respectively, it is going to be divided into 12 waves, and it will be also divided into 3 sections. There are going to be bosses in waves 4, 8, and finally 12. And the catch with this one is that it's going to be, I would say, aimed towards different types of experienced players. Waves 1 through 4 are aimed towards players who have received a Fire Cape. Waves 5 through 8 are aimed towards players who haven't gotten an Infernal Cape, which is, considered to be the greatest difficult challenge in Old School RuneScape, but are pretty competent in PVMing. And then finally, waves 9 through 12 are aimed towards players capable of obtaining a Fire Cape, which makes me think that the final 4 waves are going to have a similar difficulty to Zuck, if not just slightly more difficult. Now, the thing about this one is that after you finish a wave, there's going to be a little segment for you to see what loot you have gotten so far, and then if you keep going, that loot is going to become bigger and bigger. Not only that, but there are going to be buffs and debuffs added to you and also the enemies in the waves, and this can either be, having a wraith follow you around, or the monsters dealing more damage. We all have to wait and see what these debuffs are, but then these are going to be random after every wave you complete. As you can see right here, this is going to be, I would say, given to you by the 3 Tasakaal that are sitting whenever you enter Mount Karum, and I don't know if these are the bosses or the minions themselves, but it looks like the monsters will be based on the Hydras, the Drakes, and the worms that live inside the Mount Karum. Finally, what about the rewards? It looks like we are potentially going to be getting, again, they said that they don't want to announce anything officially, with the lore, the thematics, the themes and everything, but what Jagex Husky said is that they are planning or brainstorming or even coming up with an untradeable best-in-slot item that upgrades after beating the boss on waves 4, 8, and 12. It is yet to be seen if this is going to be a brand new item or if it's going to be applicable to something else that we already have. There is going to be a chance for us to get a best-in-slot tradable item that is obtained as a rare drop in the standard loot system to become more common in later waves. And then finally, we have a potentially consumable item that will give you more money consistently somewhere. They don't actually specify anything. And finally, a pet on boss wave 12. As all pets in Old School RuneScape, I'm pretty sure this is going to be based on RNG, but only time will tell. I'm pretty sure that they're not gonna just spoon feed you one pet as long as you finish the activity on your first attempt, and it looks like this is going to be, in my very personal opinion, the most exciting one out of all of them. And finally, the concept that seems to be grabbing most people's attention is the expansion to the wilderness. There are a ton of things that need to be mentioned here, so I'll keep them pretty short, but again, if you guys want to check it out, go ahead and click the link in the description so you can read the entire thing. So I'll give you a quick summary of this. The very first thing is a brand new quest that's going to be basically a PK related quest. Now, it doesn't require you to PK, it's just basically helping an NPC getting into the ways of becoming a PKer. Now, how does this work? How are NPCs supposed to be PKers? Well, that's going to be a new addition, and it looks like the Fremennik NPCs are going to roam around the wilderness, and they are also going to be PKers. Now, if we stay to Fremennik lore, it looks like these are not going to be using magic, but who knows if they hybrid with both a melee and ranged, or if it's just going to be another thing that you're going to be able to whack, while safe spotting them. Could be kind of anticlimactic, but who knows. Next one, as you can see, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen this dragon in many thumbnails and many tweets, but this is going to be one of the 3 bosses that Jagex are planning to add to the Wilderness extension, and the first one is Vulku. This is going to be, well, obviously a dragon, and not a lot of information is, yet available about this monster other than the drops. First of all, it is going to be able to drop a dragon, or a Deathfire Visage, which is going to upgrade any or all of the Dragonfire shields to make them more powerful, either in terms of defense or offense. Next, we are going to have a Lava Visage. Now, you can think about this one as a Serpentine Visage, but instead of poison and venom, it is going to protect you against any type of fire. Next, we have Vulcan's Bow, which is going to be an upgrade from the Dark Bow. And finally, a Thammaron Scepter upgrade that they don't have a name for it yet, that it is going to give the Thammaron Scepter a chance for you to use lava spells, and it looks like it is going to be an upgrade to the Thammaron Scepter that a lot of players have been asking for. As you guys have seen the meme, yes, a lot of people use Vigorous Chain Mace, a lot of people use a crossbow, but the Thammaron Scepter, it's a little bit underwhelming. The next boss, however, is going to be called Skal, and it is going to be a Skull Golem. There's a little bit of lore in this one, but the most important part are the drops, 2 of which are mentioned right here. First, we are going to have another option to the Thammaron Scepter for it to sort of cast lunar spells. I don't really know how that's going to be working, but the most important one from this one is that it is going to potentially drop a thing to combine Wilderness Rings with Dagonoth King Rings. So, who knows if you can combine any ring with any other one. So, for example, if you can put a Divine Ring to a Berserker Ring and not only give it strength bonus, but also prayer bonus, only time will tell, but it looks like this is going to be actually fairly overpowered. The last boss is going to be, it doesn't have any name yet, but it is going to be the first world boss in Old School RuneScape. Now, what does a world boss mean? It is different than any other boss, and instead of finding it in every single world, it is going to have a little notification for you to know in which world this boss is going to spawn, and also, give you a very rough location of this place. Why is it a world boss? It's because a lot of players can attack it, and rightfully so. Jagex are planning to make this a 2,500 level with 60,000 HP. And of course, people are going to have to kill each other, even to kill the boss. And it is going to have also fairly interesting drops. Not as great as compared to the other ones, but again, if this is going to be an extremely powerful monster, only time will tell. So far, what they have planned is that that the boss will give you better upgrades to the God Wars dungeon weapons that are going to be exclusively used for the Wilderness. And of course, they have a little buff that, I guess whenever you kill it, it's like the Revenant boss. Whenever you kill it, you're going to deal more damage to Revenants, so probably it's going to be PK specific. And finally, the last addition to the Wilderness extension is going to be the Artifact Scout. Now, if you talk to any one of these guys, you can buy an artifact from them, and you can deliver them, and you can deliver the artifact to a specific NPC that they tell you, but only inside the Wilderness, and the catch is that you cannot teleport. If you get to the NPC that they told you, you're going to get points, and those points are eventually going to be able to, I would say, unlock a new item that is sort of like the name of this one is called a small safe pouch, and just basically think of it as a looting bag, but whatever you put in there is going to be safe whenever you die. Now, it is yet to be seen, we're yet to talk about if this is going to be destroyed on death, and then you keep your items, or if you actually get to keep the entire bag. That would be pretty cool to see. So far, that is everything that's planned on the Wilderness expansion. Again, you guys can see the image in the description, and honestly, I encourage you guys to give it a try. I'm not a PKer, I'm not fond of that place whatsoever, but honestly, this one looks really cool, and it looks like it's going to, give you a ton of potential for either solo or group content. Ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much it for this quick video. I really hope you enjoyed, and I hope you are excited at least about one of these changes. And if you're not excited for dogs coming to Old School RuneScape, I think I'm gonna have to ban you from the channel. I want to give a massive thank you to all the absolute legends that have become channel members over the past few weeks and even months. Your guys' support is absolutely insane. If you would like to monetarily support this project, this channel, you can go ahead and click the join button below and see what type of cool perks and rewards you can get out of your monetary pledge in the channel and on the live streams, and also in the Discord. So far, that's pretty much it. I will see you guys on Monday, where we will take a look at what to do in order to gain some easy money on your daily activities. And I'm not only talking about your farm runs. You guys will get to see a better ways to turn a quick profit for your daily activities. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you then. Peace.